Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the core philosophy from Joshua Medcalf's incredible parable, Chop Wood, Carry Water. It's this fantastic story about the hidden power of doing the boring work.
So let's just start with this question, because it really cuts against everything we're told about life. I mean, think about it. We live in a world that is completely obsessed with instant results, right? Overnight success. But this idea suggests the real secret to mastery is, it's somewhere else entirely. It's in the mundane, the boring stuff.
And this quote right here, this is the core mindset shift of the entire story. And it comes from the mentor, Akira. It basically says, forget the trophy, forget the promotion, forget the finish line. The only thing that really truly matters is who you're becoming along the way. And man, once you get that, it changes everything.
All right, so let's get into the story. We start with our hero, a young guy named John. He travels all the way to Japan with his massive dream, He wants to become a master samurai archer. He is just full of ambition, totally ready for glory. So he gets there, he's all fired up, and he totally expects to pick up a bow on day one. But nope. His sensei, a wise man named Akira, tells him and all the other new apprentices to just chop wood and carry water for the community. That's it. That's his training. So John is, as you can imagine, super confused. He asks, okay, so when does the real training start? And Akira's simple reply, shooting will come soon enough. That's what sets up the whole story. It's this clash between the glorious outcome John is chasing and this incredibly boring, mundane process he's stuck with. Okay, so to help John get it, to understand why this seemingly pointless work is so important, Akira tells him a story. It's a great little parable about a legendary home builder named Koda. So this guy, Koda, he's world famous, a master craftsman, but at this point in his life, he's just done. He's mentally on the beach. He is so ready to retire, just wants to hang out with his family. But his boss asks him to do one last project, and reluctantly, he agrees. But here's the thing, his heart just isn't in it anymore. And because of that, all that famous craftsmanship, it just disappears. He's cutting corners, using cheaper materials. He sees this whole thing as just an annoying obligation, The last hurdle he has to jump before he can finally get on with his real life. So, the job gets done. It's adequate, but not great. Koda hands over the keys, he's ready to walk away forever, but just then, his boss stops him and hands him this small box. Says it's a retirement gift for all his years of service. And boom, Koda's heart just sinks. He opens the box, and inside are the keys to the very house he just built, the one he rushed, the one he didn't care about. It was a gift the whole time he was building his own house. And that's the big lesson for John and for us. Whatever you're doing, you're always building your own character, your own house. But man, that is not an easy lesson to live by. As the years go by, John's ambition starts to bubble up again. He gets impatient, and he's constantly asking Akira, hey, how much longer? How long until I'm a master? And Akira has this amazing response. He says that focusing so hard on the destination, it actually makes the journey longer and more dangerous. It's like if you're always staring at the top of the mountain, you're gonna trip on the rock that's right at your feet. And this whole idea leads to a really powerful distinction the book makes between a goal and a mission. See, a goal, like winning the big tournament, that's an outcome. Someone else can take that away from you. But a mission is different. A mission is something like, I will pursue excellence every single day. That's a process. And the only person who can stop you from doing that is you. Then after John gets an injury, Akira hits him with this really deep question. It forces you to think, to find your identity not in what you do, your performance, your achievements, because that stuff can all go away, but in who you are at your very core. That's the only thing that's constant. So it's not just about embracing the boring work. The journey is also about how we see our setbacks. The story reframes failure completely, and it uses this really cool, surprising analogy about golf balls. Yeah, so it turns out golf balls were originally made totally smooth, but designers discovered something super weird. They found that the old, beat-up, roughed-up golf balls, the ones with all the nicks and scratches, they actually flew way further than the brand new, perfect, smooth ones. And that's the point, right? Our imperfections, our struggles, our scars, our dimples, That's what actually reduces life's drag and allows us to go further. It's the rough side of the mountain that forges us into who we need to become.
All right, this brings us to the climax of John's whole journey. This is where he finally truly understands what mastery is all about. And it's not just about one skill, it's a whole process. Akira explains it first with the story of the Chinese bamboo tree.
Okay, picture this. You plant a seed. For 5 straight years, you water it. You take care of it every single day. And for those 5 years, absolutely nothing happens. Zero growth above the ground. You'd think it was a total waste of time, right? But then, in that 5th year, something incredible happens. The bamboo shoot just explodes from the ground. It grows 90 feet tall in just 6 weeks. Now, was that a 6-week miracle? Of course not. It was a 5-year project. All that time, unseen, underground, it was building this massive foundation of roots, getting ready for that explosive growth.
And that, right there, is the real meaning of chopping wood and carrying water. It's all that daily, invisible work. It's building a foundation strong enough to actually support greatness when it's time to grow.
And in a final, amazing lesson, Akira shows him that true mastery isn't just one action. It's the sum of all your actions. You don't just aim a bow with your eyes. You aim with your muscles. You aim with your lungs, with your breath. You aim with everything, because everything impacts everything else.
So, in the end, John finally gets it. He learns to fall in love with the process itself. He understands that this is the only real path to becoming great. It's not about the flashy goals, it's about the consistent, humble, day in, day out work on the small things that most people think don't even matter. So, the question this whole story leaves us with is a really personal one. You have to look at your own life, at your own goals, and ask yourself, what is the wood I need to chop? What is the water I need to carry? The whole point is to find those seemingly boring, repetitive tasks and realize they're not chores. They're the sacred work you're doing to build the house of your own life.